Now, I wonder if you're anything like me. Every time my kids get older, I sort of mourn the fact that this stage is going to be done and they're going to be moving on to another stage. Well, I have some good news for you. Well, Karyn Gordon does anyways. Every stage has its good points, and you know, we hear a lot about the bad. You hear about the teenage years and they're horrific and oh my gosh, they're not going to love you anymore. But there's always something to look forward to. So why not spend some time talking about the different stages that we're going to go through as mothers and how it's all kind of full circle. It comes all back around, doesn't it?
Total full circle. I gotta tell you, I really enjoyed doing the tips in advance for this show. And when the show topic was suggested to me, I thought, oh, that's kind of an interesting thing. And then when I actually started going through it and actually looking and taking a step back, I was like, gosh, this really is a cool process to go through.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So starting in the beginning when they are babies and you are just everything to them. They can't survive without you.
100% dependent.
100%.
Yeah. So there's kind of like 5 stages. When I actually kind of look at the mother relationship, whether or not you've got daughters or sons, there's kind of 5 different stages. So stage number 1 is really the caregiver. So it really, I would say, between kind of 0 to 3 or 4 years old. And in this stage, the babies are 100% dependent on their mothers or their fathers, 100% dependent. And so a lot of moms will say that that stage is physically absolutely exhausting, but emotionally rewarding, as long as you bond with your kids.
Right.
So when we've talked before in terms of the importance of bonding, bonding is so good for that relationship, but because also it's emotionally recharging. Like I can remember times when I was totally physically exhausted. If I felt like I was bonding with the kids, it just emotionally, it was renewing.
Absolutely. Well, something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
You're exhausted, so that kid better be cute.
Yes.
Because at some point you're like, I can't do this anymore. So it's the emotional rewards. That's all you're living on.
You're really living on that. And so a couple of things you have to be really careful of. It's during this kind of the stage number 1, it's really important to be investing into your spouse. Because it's usually in this stage that a lot of times husbands kind of all of a sudden they kind of feel left out. So it's going to be kind of something that you gotta work on.
Okay.
So then you go to stage number 2, which is I'd say between kind of 4 to 12-year-olds, and that's what I call the manager stage.
Right.
And as a mom, our role is a manager. We're managing everything. We're managing their extracurricular, their school, their friends, and all of that. You know, all the different things. But what you want to start doing is slowly starting to pass them responsibilities. To really start, you know, so you're kind of starting to teach them in terms of independence, putting away their things, their chores, their responsibilities, their time management. But you want to slowly start giving it to them. And
they're going to start picking out the friends they want to hang out with and who they want to have play dates with, and you sort of manage what's happening, but they're making their personal choices.
Correct. Okay, so then if you do that well, then you go into stage 3. So stage 3 is what I call the partner stage.
Okay.
And the partner stage is actually when your kids are teenagers.
Yeah.
If you do the manager stage well, you can kind of sit back and actually can be the partner. So they're kind of in the driver's seat, but you're kind of standing beside them.
Okay.
And so a lot of times kids, they need their moms around, but they need their space as well. So as long as those moms just don't take it personal. It's actually really healthy. And as long as you're physically present, you're emotionally available, but you're kind of allowing them to actually have their space.
Right. Remember, they still need you.
They still need you.
Don't let them see you.
Yes. Yes. And a lot of, you know what, it's interesting.
But they need you.
I think it's because I specialize with teenagers, so I'm not afraid of the teen years at all.
Okay.
Because I kind of see, as long as there's certain kind of things that kids need at that stage, and if you're available for it, then I find that they're fine. But it's kind of like you're transitioning yourself. So that's stage number 3. So stage number 4 is what I'd call the friend stage.
Right.
And that's really when you're actually in the 20s. And a lot of parents will say that this is actually their favorite stage.
Right.
And this is only if you have actually done it well. If you don't do the other stages well, then what happens is kids are like teenager kind of like, but they're 25.
Yes.
Right? You see kind of like, and that's like, they actually call it the extended adolescence. That is if parents have not done their job well in terms of kind of passing on that sense of responsibility to their kids.
Got it.
So,
you got to let them be independent.
So stage number 4, and I'm actually watching some body language going, oh, that's what happened. I know, I saw you. I'm like literally watching the body language from the audience. So anyways, that's stage number 4. So that's the friends. And then you kind of go to stage number 5, which is what I call the role reversal.
Right.
Which is all of a sudden where adult children, we now start taking care of our parents. And it really is like a full circle. It's emotionally exhausting, but emotionally rewarding, but physically exhausting.
Right. So right back around
it's
again.
Right around.
Right.
And this is really where, if mothers have really bonded with their children, children will totally step up to the plate.
Okay.
If they haven't, then it's going to be a chore.
Right. Okay. Very cool. Yeah.